Good afternoon. So let us start with today's session. So just a quick revision. Someone of you, please tell me what are the different parts of a knuckle joint quickly.
Rod, single eye, double eye, pin collar.
Yeah, very good. Perfect answer. Now again, someone, what are the forces acting on the rod, or what are the types of stresses acting on the rod? Quickly.
Tensile.
Very good. Only tensile force will be acting on the rod. Okay, so let me go to the next component. Let us consider a pin. Again, quickly, what are the different types of failure in a pin? Yes.
Shear, crushing due to single eye, crushing due to double eye, bending.
Yes, perfect. So the first failure which we see in pin is the shear. Now, why shear? Because while the failure, the two surfaces rub each other. That's why we tell it as a shear failure. Then second is crushing. Then crushing may be because of single eye. Then crushing, it may be due to double eye. And last we saw it as a bending. Now, can someone of you tell me why I have written bending also? Why we told that there will be bending on it? Yes. Comes in the
Apply
component.
perpendicular to the axis.
Yes. Very good answer. When the load applied is perpendicular to the axis of the object, we say that bending will be occurring, or there will be bending stresses induced. Okay, so this was all about the second component, that is pin. Now let us consider the third component, single eye. What are the different types of failure we have seen?
Tensile, shear.
Yes, very good. So there will be only two. One will be tensile and one will be shear. And same goes for double eye. There will be tensile and shear. We have derived the formula for all this by taking into consideration various areas under failure. And a simple shortcut which I gave you for single eye and double eye is, in single eye formula, just in the area part use 2 and instead of T use T1. That's it. So single eye and double eye formulas for both of them are same, except in double eye there will be 2 because there are two, one in top and one at bottom, and we have assumed that thickness will be T1. So this will be only change the formula. Any doubts to anyone till this part?
No, sir.
Okay, so this we have seen in our previous lectures, and we have also solved one problem wherein values, or the I can say permissible stress of the materials were already given, which we have solved. Now today we will see how to solve a problem where material is also not given and we have to select the material also. So please write down this question. Design a knuckle joint to carry a tensile load of 80 kilonewton, and you can see here it is written select suitable material. So okay, someone of you again, what is the first step in machine design? That will also be a revision. What is the first step in machine
Need
design?
or aim.
Yes, very good.
Need or aim.
Yes, the first step is need or a aim. So we have the need. Knuckle joint has many applications, so there is a need to design a knuckle joint. What is the second step?
Mechanism.
Mechanism. This mechanism we have also seen. There are only three components, major components. One is single eye, one is double eye, and both are connected by a single pin. And there is no power transmission. Only there is a simple connection. So that is the mechanism. What is the third point?
Material
Yes.
selection.
So next step is selection of material. Now your attention is required. See, in previous problem which we have solved, the values were given directly. That sigma T is this much, sigma C is this much, sigma B is this much. That means they have selected the material and they have given the values of the stresses to you. Now in this particular problem, the selection of material is also given to the designer. He can select any material he wants and design as per that material. So for selection of material, write down this point. For selection of material, you have to refer page number 1.9, referring to PSG page number 1.9. Okay, so what is this table all about and what are our requirements? So you can see here, there are different kind of steel. If you see here, carbon steels, the heading, carbon steels with specified chemical compositions and related mechanical properties, which we are interested in. What are the mechanical properties? That means stress and all the things. So these are the different kind of materials. Now, what is the difference? Let us say example of this one. So let us say C20, C25. So this C20 and C25 normally are the carbon contents present, or percentage of carbon. So as you go higher in this side, the stress, if you can see in this column, goes on increasing. That means it can sustain that much stress. So as you go down the line, the material becomes heavy, or it can sustain more stress. Now, as a designer, you are free to choose any material from this. You are free to choose any material from this. But I will recommend you go for this three. Either this C25, C30, C35, C40, C45 or C50. These materials we will be using, and normally for knuckle joint we will be using either C30 or we will use C40. It's up to the designer which material he chooses. So now for our class, to maintain uniformity to all, let us now select C30 as our material. Now after selecting the material, we have to see what is the maximum stress or the yield stress which the material can sustain. So in this particular line, for this material, you have to come in this column. If you can see here, there is a column here, yield stress kgf per mm square. In this column you have to come, and corresponding value for this C30 is 30. Okay, so I will use this value as my further consideration. So I will write yield stress kgf per mm square. So this value is important to us. So material we selected C30 with a value of 30. Please make a unit, please make a note of unit here. It is kgf. It is kgf per mm square. Please note down this part. It is kgf per mm square. Okay. Okay. So solution. The first step in my solution will be now material selection. Please note down this step. You also write down. The first step is material selection. Okay. So I will write selecting C30 as material. Okay, selecting C30 as material, and from that I will write therefore sigma T is equal to 30 kgf per mm square. From where I got this value, this is important, you have to write this. This is PSG 1.1. This is the expectation in the exam. From where you got this value, अपनी मर्जी से नहीं लाया, हमने स्टैंडर्ड बुक रिफर करके इस वैल्यू को लिखा है. So it is sigma T is equal to 30 kgf per mm square. We got it from PSG 1.1. Is it 1.1 or is it 1.9?
1.9.
Yes, it is 1.9. Sorry. So yes, PSG 1.9. Now the units, if you see, it is in kgf per mm square. We don't work in kgf units. We work normally in Newton. So you can see here the value is also given of load in newtons. So converting this into Newton, I will get sigma T is equal to 300 Newton per mm square. How I did this? It is 30 into 10. Normally in general, if you go by specific method, it will be 30 into 9.81. But as I said, there is approximations here. So it will be 30 into 10. So I got sigma T as 300 Newton per mm square.
So what is kgf?
Kgf is kg force. This much kg force it can sustain. So kg to Newton conversion is multiplied by 9.81. That's it. So I'm just converting kg into Newton. So what is the sigma T? As you saw in the design data book, it was given. It is the yield stress. Now someone tell me, what do you mean by the yield stress? What is yield stress?
Within elastic limit.
Yes. Very good. It is the maximum stress within elastic limits. So we, as a designer, we don't want our material to go into plastic region. So whatever we design, if I go with the stress strain curve was something like this. Let us say it is like here, and then there was something like this, and it is this. So the point here, this is nothing but ultimate stress, at the stress at which the breaking or necking starts. But we don't want our material to go beyond this region because this is plastic region. So whatever we need to do in the elastic region, wherein the material can regain its original shape and size. So this point, the maximum stress in the elastic region is nothing but yield. As per graph, this is the final value. At this point, it is safe. So whether it is really safe at this point.
Sir, unwanted stress वगैरह और बढ़ जाएंगे.
Very good. That was the answer I was expecting. देयर आर सम
Unwanted
अनवांटेड
stresses.
थिंग्स, ठीक है। अब जैसे कि सिग्मा वाई जो दिया है, लेट अस से अजम्पशन सिग्मा वाई हमको दिया है 200, ठीक है। अब ये कहाँ से आया, ये उन्होंने कुछ स्टैंडर्ड सैंपल्स को टेस्ट किया, उसका एवरेज लेके इधर डाल दिया कि दिस इज द एवरेज और दिस इज द एक्सेप्टेबल लिमिट ऑफ दिस मटेरियल। अब सपोज आपने जो मटेरियल लाया है वो थोड़ा सा बीच में उसके अंदर वॉइड है, ठीक है, या कास्टिंग के अंदर बीच में उसके अंदर कुछ फॉरेन पार्टिकल आ गया, तो वो इतना सस्टेन कर पाएगा क्या, जो इतना बोला है उतना
नहीं सर,
नहीं कर पाएगा, ठीक है। तो क्या होगा, हम डिजाइन कर लेंगे 200 पे, बट हमारा जो एक्चुअल मटेरियल है वो 200 ले ही नहीं रहा है, मतलब आवर डिजाइन हैज फेल्ड। तो इसलिए हम क्या करते हैं, कभी भी सिग्मा वाई पे डिजाइन नहीं करते। व्हाट वी डू, वी डिजाइन समवेयर इन दिस रीजन, यहाँ पर कहीं, तो उसके नीचे समवेयर पर्टिकुलरली इन दिस रीजन। अब ये रीजन कहाँ से आएगा, दैट इज नोन एज फैक्टर ऑफ सेफ्टी, कितना आप सेफ जाना चाहते हैं, ठीक है। इफ आई यूज फैक्टर ऑफ सेफ्टी एज 1, मतलब मैं इसी पॉइंट पे हूँ। इफ आई यूज फैक्टर ऑफ सेफ्टी एज 2, मतलब मैं थोड़ा सा नीचे आया, पंक्ति सेफ हूँ। इफ आई यूज फैक्टर ऑफ सेफ्टी एज 3, लेट अस से आई विल बी हियर। इफ आई टेक फैक्टर 54, आई विल बी हियर। सो एज आई गो ऑन इंक्रीजिंग द फैक्टर ऑफ सेफ्टी, आई एम गोइंग टू द मोस्ट सेफेस्ट जोन। तो आप लोग क्या बोलोगे, सर 10 रख लो, फैक्टर ऑफ सेफ्टी 20 रख लो, तो ये पॉसिबल है क्या?
नो सर, कॉस्ट बढ़ेगा।
क्यों नहीं है? यस, वेरी गुड। द कॉस्ट विल इंक्रीज एंड ऑल्सो द डायमेंशंस विल इंक्रीज अननेसेसरीली। तो इसलिए हमको क्या करना है, फैक्टर ऑफ सेफ्टी एकदम कम भी नहीं रखना है, एकदम ज्यादा भी नहीं रखना है। वी विल गो फॉर द ऑप्टिमम और द मिडल वन। सो लेट अस से यू कैन यूज एनीवेयर बिटवीन 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 फॉर नकल जॉइंट, ओके। सो फॉर नकल जॉइंट यू कैन गो एनीवेयर बिटवीन 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now again, for our uniformity of class, I will use assume, okay, whatever I am writing on the screen is the part of solution. Factor of safety as not equal to, assume factor of safety as, let us say, 5. So what will happen, I will get now sigma t allowable. For the sigma t allowable, it will be 300 divided by 5, which is equal to 60 Newton per mm square. So wherever I will use sigma t, I will be using the value of 60 Newton per mm square and not 300 Newton per mm square. The reason which I have cleared to you all now. Anyone has any doubt till this particular topic or this particular part?
No, sir.
नो सर, नो सर,
No, sir, no, sir.
So I got sigma t allowable. अब हमको क्या क्या लगता है, देखो हमको लगता है सिग्मा t टेंसाइल स्ट्रेस, हमको लगता है सिग्मा c, हमको लगता है शियर स्ट्रेस ऑल्सो नोन एज सिग्मा s, और हमको लगता है बेंडिंग स्ट्रेस। ये 4 वैल्यूज हमको लगते हैं बिकॉज देयर आर 4 टाइप्स ऑफ फेलियर। तो सिग्मा टी तो हमने निकाल दिया, सिग्मा टी 60 न्यूटन पर एमएम स्क्वायर, मैं यहाँ लिख देता हूँ 60 न्यूटन पर एमएम स्क्वायर। सिग्मा सी वी विल अज्यूम, और इट इज अज्यूम टू बी इक्वल टू सिग्मा टी व्हिच इज इक्वल टू 60 न्यूटन पर एमएम स्क्वायर। These are all empirical relations. Tau is nothing but 0.5 times sigma t. So what I will write, 0.5 into 60, which is equal to 30 Newton per mm square. And sigma b is anywhere from 1.2 to 2 times sigma t. It can be anywhere from 1.2 to 2 times. So again you can take any value, but for uniformity of our class, I will take 1.5, that is middle sigma t. So if it is 1.5 of sigma t, it will be 1.5 into 60, that is 90 Newton per mm square. So these 4 are the main values now which we are going to use and design our machine elements. So final answer will be sigma t 60, sigma c 60, tau or sigma s 30, and sigma b s 90.